Hello and welcome to this version 8 of Home Access Plus installation and configuration video. We are currently in the process of pushing version 8 out, currently in the alpha testing phases, but this video works pretty much for the previous version of Home Access as well. So to start, what you'll need to do is just brush up on some features that are new in Home Access Plus version 8 and check out the documentation PDF found on the documentation tab of the Home Access Plus Hoplex site. So to begin with, as usual with Home Access Plus, what you first need to do is remote desktop into a server that you're going to be installing Home Access Plus on. I'm going to be remoting into our web server at Crickall High School here. First thing I'm going to do is load up Internet Information Services, IIS. In IIS, I'm going to expand Crick Server 3, the server that I'm on, expand site, click on Application Pools. I'm going to go add Application Pool. I'm going to call it HAP2, because I've already got a HAP. I'll show you what you need to do from the start. Select the .NET Framework version 4. If you do not have the .NET Framework version 4 listed there, what you'll need to do is on the server, you'll need to go to microsoft.com/web. Sorry, it's /net. So they keep changing these things around. So on the Microsoft.net website, what you'll need to do is download the .NET Framework version 4, but you'll need the full version, not the client version, which is what you get on here. So what we need to do is we need to go find other .NET 4 downloads. And on here you'll see under for server and development you'll find either install from the web or download install, and it's any one of these. Once that's installed, you should have the option to install in the .NET Framework version 4. Integrated pipeline mode, and start the application pool immediately. Click OK. That'll add the application pool. And they're going to go into basic settings on. Sorry, they're going to go into advanced settings on this and just confirm a couple of things, like automatically starts. We have you can adjust the limits to increase the amount of time that the application pool is actually online for. I'm going to increase the idle time out here to about 30 minutes, just increase it a bit. We're going to change the shutdown time limit to about 120 seconds. And we're just going to confirm the rest of the stuff. Just make sure it's all okay. It looks pretty much okay. And we're going to click OK. Now that that's been created, we can now start creating the folders and downloading the files. So I'm now going to go into my inetpub www root folder. In here I'm going to create a new folder. I'm going to call it hap test. Just for naming's sake, you can call it hap, which is what I recommend. You may not be able to install this into the root of your folder. It's recommended that you have it in a subfolder. What we're now going to do is we're going to right click and go properties on this. We're going to go into security, advanced, change permissions, untick inherit, and we'll go remove. We're going to add the system permission. And you'll need to change this so it's looking on the actual server itself, not in an Active Directory domain. And we're going to add the top 4, traverse, list folder, read and read extended, as well as the read permissions. Sorry, for system it's everything, full control. Then we'll add administrators. This will also add the domain administrators, so not to worry on that one. And then we're going to add IIS app pool, all one word, /hap2, and this is the application pool identity name that you've created in the previous instance. All this is to lock down the Home Access Plus installation so users can't get into where they're not meant to and can't write where they're not meant to. So I'm going to click OK on that. It's traverse list read. Scroll down and read permissions. OK. OK again. OK again. And OK again. You should get a list like that. If you are having an issue finding this HAP user, there is instructions on the documentation tab of our Coplex site indicating what you need to do. So very simple things. You run this on the web server and it will add that folder. Obviously change that to HAP2 or whatever you've called your folder, and that to whatever you called your application pool. Once that's done, you can now actually install HAP, and I've got an alpha install here, an alpha zip, and in here you've got all the files that you need. So you just copy them into the HAP folder from the zip file. So once that's installed, we just need to go into here, right click, sorry, we need to highlight everything that's been extracted, go properties, tick read only, and then untick read only. This resets all the permissions on the file, so it removes the read only attribute if any are existing. We're going to right click on app data and go properties. Under the security tab we're going to click edit, click on the HAP2 or HAP user that we have in there, and we're going to tick modify. Click OK, OK again. Right, so that's actually the file bit of the installation done. So what we're now going to do is we're going to go into the default website, expand it, so we get the full list of all the files and folders we got in there. My HAP2 HAP test folder, I'm going to right click and go convert to application. I'm going to select the HAP2 application pool that we created earlier, and I'm going to go OK. I'm then going to go into authentication, right click on anonymous authentication and click edit, and just make sure it's ticked for application pool identity. Click OK, and that's it. That's actually HAP set up and ready for you to actually start up. So you need to go to the your Home Access Plus address. You can use localhost /HAPtest, but the one thing you'll need to make sure is that you have an SSL certificate. If you don't have an SSL certificate installed on your server, we'll just do that now. So to install an SSL certificate, we go up to the server itself, server certificates. Now, if you're registered in the UK with your local authority, you should be able to ask them for a certificate of the Janet certification services, which is a free certificate, and you can set it up for a wildcard or anything you'd like. Or you can go to startssl.com and get a free SSL certificate from there, or you can create a self-signed one. I don't recommend a self-signed one, but if you want to go down that route, that's no problem. So you can create a certificate request from here, or you can create a self-signed one. So to create a self-signed one, you just follow the instructions on here. So the friendly name, just HAP. Okay. See, that's not the best one in the world to do because it's actually issued to your local server and not the external address. So it's not the best one in the world to do, which is why we recommend you get an official one. So once we've enabled that, it should direct you to the HTTPS version and go to the setup folder, the setup page. This is where you can actually start configuring Home Access Plus. You'll get a load of checks. If you have a red X in any of these checks that are in here, stop and have a look and see if you can figure out why. If services activated it's got a red X in it, it means that you're not using the HTTPS version of the site. So, well, it usually means that. Can be other things as well. Under general, we just need 2 bits of information there. That's your school name, so it can be long sometimes. I think I've got a capital I there. And the school URL. The school URL really isn't used, but it is helpful. It may be used in a future version. So next tab is going to be the Active Directory settings, and in here we just need to put in our Active Directory information. So that's my domain UPN, that's my administrator's username, and that's my administrator's password. The administrator's password is encrypted once we hit this save button at the end of the setup. So clicking on the students group then will give you the Active Directory browser, which allows you to easily browse and actually click on things that you need to. If this comes up or errors out, you can just click back in the box and type it in manually, as so. Alternatively, you can just click on one of the items in the list. If you're using the help desk or booking system, it's advisable to, well, you need to add some Active Directory user list OUs, and this is basically just a case of adding teachers and then the path, the LDAP path that maps to that folder. So in this case, all of my teaching staff is under a teaching staff OU, and if I click on that from the browser, you can see that it fills that information in for me. I'm going to tell it that it's visible to both the booking system and help desk, and click add to start it in there. You can add more, and you can delete, obviously. I'm going to go into the proxy server and SMTP settings. You'll notice that the save button appears because you've now completed the basic setup. So I'm going to enable the fact that I have a HTTPS and HTTP proxy. Fill this information in. I'm also going to enable the SMTP server. And I'm just going to change that. On my homepage tab, I'm just going to check and see if this is all okay. Mostly is. A couple of the icons are slightly out of date, but that's okay. You can add another group or change a group from here. We recommend that you don't touch this me box unless you're just editing it to change who it's shown to. You can, of course, remove the me and password options from there. Onto the booking system now, and you'll see if you're going to use the booking system, you need to fill this in. If not, you can ignore it. So we have the maximum weeks ahead, the maximum days ahead, whether it's a 2-week timetable or not, we have to keep the XML database clean, who the admins are for the booking system. Domain admins are already groups. Then we add the lessons, so let's say lesson 01. It's going to start at 9 AM and it's going to finish at 10 AM. I'm going to add a resource now, and this is going to be room 1, for instance. It is a room, it's enabled. I don't need to fill anything else in unless I really want to. And I'm going to hit add. That's added it. I'm going to just got one subject in here at the moment, that's general. I'm going to add another one, which is ICT. I'm going to go into the My Files section, and this is where you configure the My Files. Most of this is, the filters are set up by default to be generic ones. You can customize them if you wish. Basically, everybody has access to all of those. Only domain admins have the ability to upload everything and anything. So I'm now going to add a map in. I'm going to call it my N drive, which is my home directory, and I'm going to put in home as the home directory, and I'm going to put home in as the UNC path. I'm going to enable move. I'm going to enable this to all. I'm going to enable write to all as well, and this is going to use a quota server. Click add, that will add my N drive in. I'm going to add a quota server. So my quota server is going to so my first quota server is quickserve1. The drive is going to look at its H, and the expression is quickserve1 backslash username $. Now you need to put a couple of extra ones in there, including the fully qualified domain name and the dot before the $sign, just in case it needs it. So you add each map in. If you have a different mapping, you can obviously map to a different server and a different drive letter. Up here we've got live client ID. This is for if you want to enable SkyDrive, the SkyDrive system. So to get a hold of this, we need to go to on here. You just need to either register or sign in with your live ID. And this is the right one. Once you've registered, once you've logged in, you'll be able to create a new application. So we can go into create application at the top here. Application name we can call HAP or CHS HAP, something like that. Accept it, and we get a client ID there, which we just need to copy. We need to go in and edit some more information, so we can add a logo onto there, terms of service and a privacy service information. The API settings, we just need to set a redirection domain here, and this will actually be, well, in my case this is that, because it will discount any of these subdirectories. So we put that on there, I can use it on all of my school websites. And so save on that. Okay, and then we're just going to set the language and give an application name. So once we've got that, we use that application ID that we just got and we fill that in. We paste that into that box there. So get rid of any spaces that are there. I'm going to leave that blank for now. You can leave it blank and it won't enable the services. The perform read-write checks. This unticking this just stops the system from performing the automated read-write checks on every folder to see if the user has access to it. This is because delving into the ACLs is a bit annoying. It's very complicated to do. And then finally we've got the logon tracker. The logon tracker is a program that you can install that enables you to log logons and logoffs on your network, as well as login information on your Home Access Plus installation. The web tracker only works if this is set to the SQL Server provider. So once we've filled all this information in, or as much as we want to fill in at this time, I'm going to hit save. And what we'll get is a box saying configuration saved, and we'll get then something that we need to finish off just to lock down this setup page now that we've finished installing it. So what it says there is to go to the $web.config. So dollar in .NET terms means the application folder. So I'm going to go into inetpub www.root haptest, and I'm going to open the web.config file in Notepad. So I'm now going to look for the lines that it's asked for, which is quite a way down here. We've got location path equals setup. So what I'm going to do now is just copy this section of code here that I've got, which locks it down so domain admins only have access to this. I'm going to paste it in there instead of that one. So now we've locked down the setup section. Save that, and then I'm going to hit start using Home App. And what we get is the Home Access Plus logon page. And on here you'll be able to log in with your username and password. So if I log in now, Fingers crossed on this one. And we get the Home Access Plus main screen. Okay, and that's pretty much it. I just need to show you some other things. If you're going to be using the booking system or anything like that, you'll just need to be aware of the configurations that you just need to go through. So if you load up the web.config file, you'll see that there's a load of location paths where things are set to disallow and allow. You just need to change what the roles are here. So you just put change CHS to teaching staff or something like that. And that goes to the booking system as well. And that completes the Home Access Plus installation. I hope you enjoyed this video.